Hi, I'm Kesenya. I'm your Astro Weather Girl. It is so lovely to be with you for this week's Astro Weather Report. I'm going to show you how the planets and their configurations this week are going to affect you personally. Thanks for joining me. A big welcome to all my new friends who are here with me for the first time. You are so welcome here. And if you are new to astrology and you want to understand more, you want to figure out, well, what's my star sign? How do I understand what you're talking about, Kesenya? Then can I encourage you to check out my video, my course, all about how to cast and read your own chart. And you can do that through my website, guidingstar.astrology.com. Go to the Learn Astrology page and the course is there available for you. It's only $30 odd and you can learn how to read your own chart and get the most out of all my astro weather reports for the future. Plus you get to understand what everyone's talking about when all the goss is all about astrology, So it's a great course to undertake if you're new to astrology. A big welcome also to my old friends who join me here each week, who have loyally subscribed and support me in my work here. Big kiss. Mwah. You are so welcome here as always. And to all my Patreon family members, I love you very much. I pray for you every day. Thank you for joining me here for the Astro Weather Report. You guys have a very special weather report a very special full moon report coming up for you very, very soon. And because it's equinox this week, you will also get an equinox ritual through the Patreon family as well. So lovely that you join me here, and I love you all very, very much. Now I have some really good news. I mentioned in last week's video that I was having a lot of trouble with my email platforms and my email systems, and it's all been rectified now. In fact, I've gone beyond just rectifying the problems. I've put a lot of systems in place that are going to prevent fraud, that are going to prevent, difficult activity from sort of malicious people and so forth on my site. So you can now book readings, buy products, do courses through my site with confidence, knowing that you're going to be able to get what you pay for and that we will be able to communicate properly as well as being safe through my community. So I'm so pleased to share that with you and so relieved at the same time. On that topic, I want to share something that was written by Plutonia Intuitive. Mwah, kiss to you, my darling. Thank you for leaving the message that you left on my last week's astrological video. And because you left that message in a public forum, often I get emails to me sort of sharing people's experiences with my readings and how they've blessed them and so forth. But because you've shared this in a public forum, I'd like to read out to everybody what she wrote. So she had a reading with me about relationships, and then I'll read here. She said, I asked about what blockages that I had with manifesting a relationship for myself, and Kesenya delivered a beautiful recorded reading to me that was so accurate it was kind of scary. She gave me a date range and particular circumstances that I would meet my next partner after 2 years of being single. It was so on point. My boyfriend and I have now been together for 10 months and are very happy. So pleased to hear that response, and to hear about how happy you are. I'm thrilled too. I'm so excited to get responses like that shine a light on just how valuable astrology is, how much hope it can give us, and how true astrology is for all of us. So if you would like a reading to explore any topic that you want clarity on, then head over to Guiding Star Astrology and make your booking now. Now, I am so excited because it is equinox. Today, when this video launches on YouTube, it is equinox. The sun has moved into the first degree of Aries. Day and night are equal now, and it is a special, special time. It's the astrological new year. And to celebrate, I've been planning this for quite some time, and I'm so excited to celebrate my little astro wheel that everybody, let's get it without a glare, everybody loves my astro wheel and wants one. It's $100 off. Now, I will not go lower than that on this astro wheel. That is bargain, let me tell you. You're getting it for very cheap considering how much it costs to put together. So that is currently $100 off. This is currently $100 off on my available at my website. You'll get the magnetic version, and it comes with magnetic planets that you can move to wherever you want to put them. on the magnetic surface, and you can write on the magnetic surface and then wipe it off with a whiteboard marker, you know, that sort of pen. Not a permanent marker, but a whiteboard marker will work great. And it's wonderful. You can hang it on the wall as a clock. You can spin it to whatever version of your chart that you want to see. Maybe you want to see your chart from, you know, your Jupiter sign. Let's say there's your Jupiter sign, and you can have a look at what your chart looks like when Jupiter is in the first house, or maybe you want to look at maybe the moon as the first house. So you can really learn a lot about astrology with one of these, and so grab it now while it's on sale. It's not going to be on sale for very long. Now, I mentioned a moment ago that it's equinox, and that's why we're having this special astro sale, but I'm so excited about equinox. I'm going to go out to a beautiful sacred space near where I live with my girlfriend who hosts ceremonies, and we're going to do some ritual and ceremony and set some intentions for the astrological new year. Far more powerful to do that sort of thing now than it is on January the 1st or, you know, December the 31st or whatever, because there's more astrological energy supporting what we're doing now. And so, as I mentioned, I'm going to try and get together an equinox ritual that I'll share with my Patreon family in time for Saturday, for you to do your own equinox ritual in whatever circumstances that you find yourself in, and use those energies to your best advantage. So happy equinox, happy astrological new year, everybody. Let's take a look at what other energies are playing out this week. We've got the equinox on the weekend, and then on Monday the 22nd, we're going to be having a trine, and that's going to be occurring from Mars at 10 degrees of Gemini down here to Saturn at 10 degrees of Aquarius. So that's a beautiful trine, a harmonious interchange that is occurring. Now, for those who don't regularly watch my videos and don't know how I work, I'm going to tell you what energies are unfolding this week, just briefly like this. And then we go into the next stage of my readings, my reading here on YouTube. And I talk about what these energies are going to bring you on those particular days. And then we break down one of those energies, only one, for each sign. And if you want to go to your sign, once you've listened to the intro, you can go to your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign. They're all very important, and they'll all be applicable, particularly the rising sign. All you need to do is use the timestamps below to go to your particular sign. Now, the timestamps, if I get time, I'm trying to put them in my blurb for this video down below. You'll have to sort of click the arrow to sort of take you to the full version. Or sometimes I get, sometimes I'm very blessed to have Kylie, hi darling, put her in the comments section. She puts timestamps there sometimes for us as well. So you can use either way if Kylie puts them up, but if they're not there, just simply go to my drop down box in the blurb for this video and you'll find them there. So you can use that to go to your sign and get the most out of this video. So back to what's happening. We've got the trine from Mars to Saturn on the 22nd, falling at 10 degrees. Then on the 24th, which is a Wednesday, we've got a square from Mars down here to Mercury in Pisces at 11 degrees. So that's the other energy falling this week. Then on the 26th, we're going to have a special day because we've got a conjunction here of Sun and Venus falling at 5 degrees of Aries. Now, this is a very special energy, and it is so special that I've done a very unique video for that day. So if you follow my Astro Weather Reports, that's awesome. But also keep an eye out for this 26th of March. I will do a special video all about Venus being Cazimi with the sun. Now, currently Venus is invisible in the sky. She's not the morning star. She's not the evening star. She's what is known as combust. You cannot see her. On this day, she will be at the same minute and the same degree, same minute as the sun. They're going to unite as one in the sky at the same degree. And that's a very special thing that we call Cazimi. The issues of the feminine, of beauty, of love, of money come before the King of the universe to be considered and discussed. So I have prepared a very special video talking about Venus Cazimi, talking about the mythology of Venus when it's Cazimi with the sun. And it's a beautiful interview I'm doing with a very special woman who knows all about the energy of Venus and what we are working with in this patriarchal age that we're moving out of. So you don't want to miss this interview. It's fascinating. There's a lot of astrology that we talk about and mythology and application to our lives here on Earth in this manifested reality. So don't miss that video on the Cazimi Venus Day. That's the 26th of March. Put it on your calendar. Don't miss it. Now, the other energy that is playing out this week on the 27th, the day after Venus, Sun, Cazimi, is the conjunction up here of the North Node. Oops, I'll put a dot there. The North Node with Mars. Now, that's also a very important energy that we are looking forward to this week. So let's break down all these energies and what they mean for us personally now. We're going to start with the energy of Mars trine to the Saturn. Now, a trine energy has the energy or the feel of Jupiter. It can be lucky, it can be benevolent, it's blessed, supportive, it's optimistic, it's a good thing. So things can come our way, things can land in our lap, we can have a lot more success because this is a trine. Even though these planets in Vedic astrology are titled as malefic planets, everything has shadow and light. There is good and bad, light, dark, in everything, in every one of us, in nature, and also in the skies, in the planets themselves. They carry good qualities and bad qualities. Because this is a trine between two traditionally malefic planets, what's going to happen is we're going to get more of the manifestation of the positive energies of Mars and Saturn. And what are they? Well, Saturn in the positive is maturity, responsibility, stoicism in the good sense. It's about endurance and perseverance. It's about being able to work hard. All those very sort of solid, Saturnian things. It's not about the shadow side of Saturn, which is blockages, problems, restriction, rules. It's about the good stuff, okay? The good stuff, which is still, fairly heavy stuff because Saturn's a very heavy energy. But it's the good stuff, the stuff that we want in our lives. Like we want a relationship that's full of maturity and responsible, partners being responsible. You don't want a lack of maturity in a relationship or else it's just a pain in the butt. So Saturn can bring good stuff that is mature, responsible, and, lots of, duty in the good sense. Mars in the good sense is heroism. It's being the superhero. It's being courageous for a worthy cause. It's fighting for justice. It is about being energetic and enthused about things and having plenty of vigor, plenty of go-get and plenty of ambition to make things happen. So you can see there's some really good qualities that come out of this beautiful connection. And it's a powerful combination for success, particularly with your ambitions, because you've got this strong, ambitious nature of Mars wanting to express in this trine, and it's coupled with the very structured, well-organized, well-planned energy of Saturn. So it's not about just sort of having the passion and the desire for a certain success in a certain field. It's having, the sensibilities to make it happen for you in third dimensional reality. Saturn rules our physical incarnation. So you're going to have the enthusiasm, the ambition, the drive, the let's go get 'em. Plus, you're going to have what it takes to make it manifest in reality for you. Beautiful, beautiful combination in that regard. So whatever you establish under this energy, it can bring you lasting success in the long term as well. So, this might include a business. Maybe you're having a business transaction or starting a business or some sort. It can go very well for you in the long term because if you start it under this energy. It could be something like a real estate deal because Mars rules real estate and real estate transactions. And so Saturn's going to give you the structure and the organization and maybe the plans and the procedural side of things that works well along with Mars's enthusiasm for a real estate deal. It might also be because Mars is not the ruler of court cases, but he's about winning. And if you need to start a court proceeding, if you need to sort of challenge a fine that you've received from some authority figure, Saturn is authority figures, the police have given you a speeding fine or a red light camera fine or something like that. Maybe, you're dealing with some challenging situation that requires a fight. Then Mars-Saturn energy is going to give you the means to be successful in that circumstance. So if you do need to do some sort of litigation, start it under this energy. If you do need to challenge a speeding fine, then do it, initiate it under this energy. If maybe, you need to do some sort of, I'm not talking about going and getting aggressive with people or abusive or violent. That's not the kind of fight we're talking about. We're talking about a legal fight, a just fight, a fight for justice and fairness. And now if you need to do something that is to that end, this is the best energy to do it under. If you want justice, if you want fairness and equality, do it under a Mars. Initiate your actions for a fight in that sense under Mars trine Saturn this week, and you will have the capacity to endure the process of the fight, plus it can bring lasting success as well. Also, this is an energy that we would liken to a marathon run. You have got what it takes to compete for something over a long period of time. Now, whether that's a project at work that you're wanting to start, whether it's an actual marathon run that you want to run, this is a great energy to do it under, because even if you don't win, although Mars will make you very desirous of winning, even if you don't win, let's say you're running a marathon and you don't come in first, but you get your own personal best time, you have not run that fast ever before, and it's like, awesome, I've beaten my old record. You will still have success under this energy because you have the perseverance, the endurance, you have the enthusiasm and the energy that lasts in the long term for, say, a marathon run or some project or some initiative or some court case fight or some circumstance that you find yourself in, a business situation that wants success over a long period. You have that ability to compete for the long term because there's much more endurance now and energy. So it's a lovely, lovely energy to work with. It's also because Mars is passion. This day, as I said, this is the 22nd. It's a good day to sit with the question, what am I passionate about? So go deep, go within, journal about it, think about it. What are you truly passionate about? Where does your passion lie? Where do you long to see success in your life? When you've determined what it is you're passionate about, where your enthusiasm lies, then you can actually take action that manifests for you under this energy. Determine what your passion is and then start taking action towards manifesting what you're passionate about. Maybe it's asking somebody out on a date. Maybe it's starting a new business. Mars is very, very entrepreneurial, and Saturn will give you the structure and the endurance and the perseverance to get it going, to get it up and running. So whatever it happens to be that you're passionate about and enthusiastic about, it's the day for taking action on those things. But you've got to know what it is that you're passionate about, and then all the momentum, all the energy is there. The stars align to support you in that regard. So the next energy that we want to explore is that of Mercury square to Mars over here. So here is Mars at 11 degrees on this day, the 24th, and making a square to Mercury at 24 degrees on this day, the 24th. Mars and Mercury both at 11 degrees of Gemini and Pisces. So our minds become very active under this energy. Like our brains are just run. Unlike the trinal energy of the Mars-Saturn connection, this is a square, and squares carry the energy of Saturn. Basically, they are about restriction, they're about blockage, they're about having to overcome some obstacle or hurdle before you get what you want out of things. And so there's this tenseness. There's this sort of very sort of like I keep likening a square to a rugby scrum, like where you're both, or a gridiron if you're in America, pushing heads, butting heads. These two energies, the energy of our mental processes and our playfulness and our business sensibilities, Mercury, and our friendships, going up against Mars, which is, pushing up and going aggressive and frustrated and wants to win at all costs, kind of boom, and they're crashing heads. So this is the energy of the day. It's not easy. It's like there's a block there to the energies expressing in their positive potential. So our minds become very, very active. Mercury is mental, it's thinking, and it becomes energized by this Mars connection, but in a way that might be a bit of a pest, It's hard to quieten our thoughts. Our mind is in a heightened state of anxiety. It's running all the time. And that, for some people who are prone to, say, anxiety, who are prone to not depression, but to sort of wild thoughts that just don't give them any peace, it could be very much heightened on this day. So be prepared. But our energy levels get increased under this energy too. Both of these Mercury-Mars energies are very vigorous and very restless energies. They're both youthful, playful. That's a good thing about them both. But Mercury is about sort of localized movement. Mars is about energy. You'll be restless. Physically, you'll want to move. You'll want to maybe run or dance or go for a walk, and use that for good. Like, you don't have to sort of struggle with that energy. If you take some time to use your momentum, then you're actually doing well, and you're using this energy for the best possible causes. So our energy levels are increased, but also because I said both planets are playful, your playfulness can increase too. So that's a bonus here. There is, like I said, shadow and light in everything, but also your competitiveness. So you might be competitive, Mars, with your words, Mercury. And, there might be some, you might say things as sort of a red flag to somebody else, provoking because you're feeling competitive with that person. Your energy might be competitive. And one good way to express that is maybe to sort of compete. Now, if you're like me, I have Mars, Sun in the same sign, and I hate competition of any sort in any arena, because it pains me to be in a state of competition with other people. It hurts too much. It's kind of hard to explain. It's probably something that I should do a video about someday, Mars, Sun conjunctions. But how I deal with this, with the energy of competition, I compete against myself. I'll try and go for a bike ride that's a little further than what I did last time, or I'll try and run a little quicker or run a little further. So if you're looking to utilize this energy on this day, and you're like me and you don't like competition and it stresses you to be in competition, then compete with yourself, because this energy of competition will be heightened, and you want to use it to sort of bless yourself, not sort of end up in a state of anxiety and stress because you're competing with other people. So for some people who don't have Mars, Sun connections like me, you might play a team sport and enjoy that, because Mercury actually corresponds to teamwork and working as a team. So team sports could be a way to get rid of that excess energy, but just be careful, because it's a square energy. There could be some frustration and tension with your team, or on the netball court, or on the football field, or wherever it is that you're playing some sort of team sport. That could be present. Just be aware, it's the energy of the day, okay? So what else can be happening under this energy? Well, we might have some stress from our mental processes, because I said, our mental processes don't switch off. They going. Then we become, in a heightened state of anxiety, irritability, defensiveness. We'll see people sort of going, I did not, don't say that about me. That defensive kind of behavior, impulsive behaviors as well, where we do something irrationally, we say something without thinking, where sort of our tongue gets us into trouble when Mars is square to Mercury. We can have highly verbal reactions to things. Ordinarily we might bite our lip, but not on this day. It'll all come spilling out if we're not careful. We have impatience with other people, impatience maybe with ourselves. Please be careful in traffic. Oh my God, this is an energy for car accidents, this one. So getting frustrated, getting impatient, trying to run that red light or screech through a pedestrian crossing or something like that. It is an energy for car accidents. Please be careful. So very reactive, very highly energized, but not always in a good sense, this energy. There can be arguments also with friends or siblings. Mercury rules friends, Mercury rules siblings, younger people in general. You might be in a sort of state of fighting with them or frustration with them. I know amongst women my age, we've been talking a lot about our frustrations with certain things we see. I won't go into that. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it. We can have lots of accidents that might occur to the body, particularly to the muscles. If we're not careful, we might tear a muscle, maybe because we're feeling highly competitive and we want to run that extra mile instead of, running, 6Ks, we decide we're going to do 10 and we pull a muscle. Okay. So be very careful and conscious of what you're doing, because accidents to the muscles, Mars's muscles, can occur on this day, to the body in general can occur on this day, and there can also be problem with communications on this day, and problem with transport, because as I said, this is a restless energy. So again, problems with transport. If you need to catch a public bus or a train, there could be delays, they might be late, the train might not get there on time, or it might be slow and you're frustrated, you're impatient, I'm going to be late for work. Or car accidents, like I said, things to do with like bike accidents. You might be pedaling your bike down the road and fall off. Those sorts of transportation accidents are highly likely under this energy. Okay, so how can we perhaps deal with this energy in the best possible way? Well, some remedies, because Mercury is involved, might be breath work. And by that, one of the ways that you can work with that is, there's many techniques for breath work, but one of them is to breathe in through the nose for 3 counts. 1, 2, 3, and then out for 6 counts. And if you sit in peace and stillness and you practice that, say for about 10 minutes, it can help calm the mind. It can help calm the body in this heightened agitation day. So that's one thing. Don't push yourself too hard. As I said, if you want to run 10Ks, but you usually only run 6, maybe just pull it back to, say, adding an extra kilometer rather than an extra 4 kilometers. Don't push yourself to the limit. Don't push yourself too hard under this energy, because it could cause accidents. Stay safe. Don't make rash choices, impulsive choices, especially if you're driving, and also choose safe exercises for yourself as well, or a safe, not so much safe, but perhaps choose to do some constructive work around the house maybe, or in a project. It's a good day for channeling the energy, because you'll feel energized and you'll want to do stuff, but channel it into something productive and helpful. So maybe, that, I don't know, the downpipe is leaking and it needs fixing, so you go and fix. Mars likes to fix problems, and Mercury is doing things with the hands. So get in there, fix a problem, especially one around the house. Get the tools out, because Mars likes to use tools. Mercury is using your hands, so use some tools, do some productive work. Get the shovel out, go dig out those weeds, in the garden. Those sorts of things are good ways to channel this energy and can actually help you diffuse any of the tense energy that might come with this. And I'd also encourage you perhaps to play mentally stimulating games, because that's a positive expression of this energy, because Mercury is mental and Mars is competitive. So, instead of being frustrated and tense and, lashing out with your words, then maybe get out Boulder Dash or Trivial Pursuit. One of those, or Pictionary, a game that requires a bit of mental prowess and some thinking. Scattergrees is another board game. I love mental games and I love general knowledge games. Invite some friends around, have a games night under this energy and crack out the old-fashioned board games. And you might find that you actually get the highest manifestation of this energy and it blesses you, rather than being in a state of tension and frustration. Then on the 26th of March, we have what I was talking about earlier, the conjunction of Venus and the Sun, called Cazimi. This is an exciting day. As I said, I'm not going to talk about it here. You want to catch my video. That's a special video coming out on the 26th itself. If you haven't subscribed or hit the bell notification, do so. You don't want to miss this very special video all about Cazimi Venus. Then we've got Mars conjunct with the North Node. This is happening on the 27th, so Saturday week, at 13 degrees. 13 degrees of Gemini, this is occurring. So this is the degree of Aries. 13 degrees is the degree of Aries. And of course, Mars rules the sign of Aries and carries the energy of Aries. So it's like we're getting suddenly this amplification, big time, of Aries energy. So it's highly activating. It's about starting new things. It's about turning over new leaves, creating new beginnings. And quite ironically, I guess you'd say, this is occurring in the first week of the astrological new year as the sun has moved into Aries. So we're getting a heightened Aries energy all up next week, the first week of the astrological year. So Aries is, and Aries energy and Mars energy is highly emphasized next week. And of course, Rahu, the North Node, amplifies whatever it is touching. And so we're going to get an amplification of Mars energy. And of course, we want that to manifest in the positive for us. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Now, in evolutionary astrology, whenever a planet is with the North Node, it's considered to be the medicine for our past life issues. So if you happen to have a planet with the North Node, then look at the positive expression of that particular planet and start trying to manifest or exhibit that energy in your life, because it's the medicine. It's going to help you deal with your issues from previous incarnations that might be holding you back, blocking you, keeping you stuck, all that sort of thing. I love evolutionary astrology. If anyone wants a karmic reading, then jump in on my website, place your order, because that's something I absolutely love to look at in the chart. Rahu, or the North Node, is also what we're going to get more of if we have it in our natal chart as well, and where we need to focus on the energy of that particular planet to manifest in the highest vibration in order for us to get the best results in our life. So there's a lot going on when we have a conjunction of Mars and the North Node. And of course, any child that's born on the 27th is going to have this conjunction very strong in their chart, Mars with the North Node. But for the rest of us who are already born, this is a day of collective influence of a transiting nature. So the influence of Mars and the North Node, it's not a permanent state of being for us now. It's just going to be a transiting influence, but it will be felt nonetheless. So as a collective, you'll observe that there is a need to come into our own personal power. As a collective, and maybe for some certain individuals who have planets around 13 degrees of Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, or Virgo. That would be me, actually. So there's this need for those of us with planets there, or as a collective group on planet Earth, for us to engage in our personal power, to come back into our power. And I liken that personal power very much to, say, the Gal Gadot in Wonder Woman kind of energy, or the, Captain America or Spider-Man or whatever, that superhero energy, which is very Mars. That's what's going to be amplified in the positive through the conjunction of Mars with the amplifying North Node. So we have this need to embrace our inner Wonder Woman, let's say. We have this need to be courageous, to sort of take on things that we would usually be afraid to take on, to turn things around, to make brand new starts. It's a very exciting energy, especially coming the day after this conjunction of Venus and the Sun. Whatever is brought before the Sun at Venus Cazimi Day, the issues of women, they're going to get some empowerment the day after through Mars connecting with the North Node. You will suddenly have the energy, the desire, the courage to take action on those issues. I'm excited. I think this is really good. Some other things that this might bring us are the energy of, being able to be more physically active, enjoying more adventure in our lives, willing to sort of go into places we wouldn't usually go. There's a fearlessness with this energy that's actually quite exciting and can be very liberating when we lose our fears, we lose our inhibitions as well. So some people will learn that it's okay to embrace their Aries side. Quite frankly, I I have not tended to embrace my Aries side very much in my life, you know, meek, little Libra moon, Pisces rising kind of person that I can sometimes be. And I feel that I have lacked because of that. I need to learn to embrace my Aries empowerment so much more than what I have throughout my life. And maybe this energy is going to be just the dose that I need to embrace that, to live that. Some people are going to learn that it's okay to be passionate, to be angry, you know, in the context of a relationship or over certain issues in the world, to be in their creative sort of instigating zone. You know, Mars Aries type energy likes to start things. It's entrepreneurial. It's very creative. It wants to begin. So it's full of new beginnings. Also, maybe we might need to embrace our impulsive side. You know, I would be cautious of that on the day we're having Mars square to Mercury, but on the day that Mars makes a conjunction with the North Node, maybe we need to learn, some of us, to embrace impulsivity instead of sort of using our Saturn, oh, will I, won't I, is that going to be safe, is that wise, you know, maybe we need to just dive right in some circumstances. Some of us might be asked to do that. So you might find, if you have planets around this 13-degree mark, as I said, you might find that your inner warrior starts to wake up. Your Wonder Woman, your Superman starts to sort of go, hey, what about me? It's time I asserted myself. And your inner fearlessness might come alive. Some of us are going to learn now to be our own superhero, not to be looking outside of us for salvation or somebody to sort of change my life and, you know, get me out of this, you know, we're going to be like, no, you know what? I'm my hero. I am the winner. I am going to be the one who turns my life around. You just watch me go. And it's that sort of energy that some people really need in their life. This is a day when that can manifest very, very strongly in the collective as well. Maybe we've been in some way subverted as a subculture group through race, through gender, through age, whatever. And under this energy of Mars with the North Node, the collective wakes up and says, you know, it's time to be heroic. Let's look at reinvigorating the Me Too movement, or let's, you know, look at All Lives Matter, you know, Black Lives Matter. Kind of what Mars is wanting to do is wake up our inner hero, our inner warrior, again, about collective issues that need to be addressed and continue to be addressed. So just so you know, both Mars and the North Node in Vedic astrology are considered to be malefic. Yes, that's true. So this need to be our own hero, our own warrior, could come through a challenge that comes our way that we are called to rise up to, you know, to rise up and take on a challenge. It might be a victory that we're given the opportunity to experience. It might be that we get the chance to express an emotion passionately where usually we'd be the quiet little mouse. And under this energy, we get the freedom, or we feel within us the freedom to liberate ourselves and say, no more, you know, I'll be a fighter for a just cause and I'm going to express my passion. Now that could be an amorous passion, or it could be a desire for justice type passion, or, some sort of an enthusiastic energy emotionally within you that wants to express. So there's a number of ways that this can exhibit. Don't be surprised, anything could happen. Rahu actually carries a lot of the nature of Uranus, which is surprises, sudden shocks, didn't see that coming. But remember with Rahu, his purpose is a bit like Uranus, always wants to take us into our liberation in the long term, in the, long range trajectory of things. He wants to, he might shock us out of a rut. He might shake things up quite a bit, but the purpose is to move us into our destiny collectively and individually. Okay, so expect that whatever happens, even if it's upheaval, even if it's a challenge, even if it's a fight or an obstacle, it is designed to help wake up that inner warrior and get you moving where you're supposed to go. So can I encourage everybody to keep in the forefront of their mind on this day to consciously move away from fear, move away from aggression, move away from rage, move away from abuse and violence, move away from unhealthy competitiveness, wherever you possibly can, and put the focus instead on Mars being your medicine. How can I be courageous here? How can I be a warrior? How can I be, a self-assertive here? How can I speak my truth here in whatever situation it is? How can I be victorious? How can I rise to the challenge? Keep those positive, beautiful Mars energies at the forefront. You will do very well if you can keep that. If you keep that in the forefront of your mind. So Rahu amplifies, as I've said. So spend the lead up to this day, which is next Saturday, the 27th. Spend the lead up this week, moving into the positive expression of Mars wherever you can. Get sort of jiggy with it, get comfortable with positive Mars expression. It will continue to grow and increase as the week goes on. Maybe you need to exercise more. Maybe you need to get more physically active. Maybe you need to be more passionate. Maybe you need to start living with more enthusiasm for life. Maybe you need to look for ways to be entrepreneurial, because that's a Mars thing, to be courageous. Maybe you need to look for ways to embrace your personal power more. Maybe you need to practice more independence, more boldness, or to be more proactive in some way. Look for ways to exhibit that strong Mars energy. You're going to be in the right zone when we get the conjunction on the 27th of the North Node and Mars. So this is a time of karma for us all as well. The North Node has to do with, it's a karmic point in the sky, but it's not about our past, what's gone on, the karmic fruit of what we've done in the past. It's about creating forward karma, like new karma. So new karma is being formed under this conjunction. How we are manifesting our Mars energy this week is going to be a part of what then fruits for us in the long term. Now, look, it might fruit immediately for us this week on the day of the conjunction, or it might not fruit for, months, weeks, months, years down the track, but there will be karmic fruit for what is established energetically on this particular day, because that's what the North Node's about. It's about the future, the destiny, not the past. Future karma is North Node. So again, I reiterate, manifest that Mars energy as positively as you can and turn consciously away from the anger, the violence, the aggression, the abuse that is the shadow side of Mars. The more you do that, the more you turn away from that and focus on the positive, bold, courageous, fearlessness, the more you go into that zone, the more beautiful, ripe, lovely, delicious karmic fruit you're going to manifest in your future. So now let's take a look at what is manifesting for all signs this week. And we're going to be looking at the energy of Mars trine to Saturn, which is occurring on the 22nd of March. So let's start. Who would like to go first? Somebody who doesn't go first very often. You know what? I'm going to go with Sagittarius, because they don't often get to go first, because all the action's happening, or has been for the last little while, happening in Capricorn, Aquarius and Pisces and everywhere else. So let's start with Sagittarius going first. So this week, the energy of Mars making a square to Saturn for Sagittarian rising sun or moon people is falling. We're going to look at the focus of Mars squared by Saturn in the sign of Gemini. So it's in 7th house realms that you are going to feel the ability or experience the energy of being more successful, strong, ambitious, and having success in that realm. So what might that look like? Well, you'll have very successful business negotiations. If you're looking to partner with somebody in some way, you will do very well. If you're looking for a lawyer on this day, excellent time to engage a lawyer, to negotiate with a lawyer about some issue if you are a Sagittarius strong person. So you can be very successful through a partnership. If you're already in a business partnership or in a marriage, there can be a lot of success for your business, or the marriage will feel really comfortable, really good, really structured, really enduring, and for the long haul on this day. And you'll feel more in alignment with your business partners and your marriage partners or committed partners also on this day as well. If you want to get married or commit to somebody, you will have lasting success in that venture if you establish it on this day. Or if you want to sign a business contract, it is going to be more beneficial for you because of Saturn's connection in a benevolent way on the 22nd to Mars in the 7th house of contracts and agreements and anything of a legal nature. So you can use this energy to your advantage if you're in any of those sorts of situations to work with this energy at its highest possible level. If you are Capricorn rising, sun or moon people, well, Mars is falling in your 6th house, where on the 22nd it is being trined by Saturn. So what does this mean? Well, this means that this is the realm of life where you might experience more success on this day in the manifested reality. More success, you might be feeling more strong, more ambitious. So in the 6th house, there's a great ability to fight a battle and overcome and win. Maybe it's with an enemy, maybe it's with a court case or a divorce that you're going through, or some kind of upheaval with work, in a work situation where you've got to find your courage and your strength. You can actually succeed on this day and have some success in a sort of a competitive environment, or competitive environment, or a situation with an enemy or somebody who is out to get you, that sort of thing. You can actually come out more victorious because of the energy of Mars being well supported by Saturn on this day. Your work can be more structured and well organized, and you'll have a lot more enthusiasm for your work and what you're doing to pay the bills on this day. So put your energy into that and you will succeed. Your relationships with work colleagues can be good too. Or if you are an employer, it's going to be a brilliant day for connecting with your employees and, perhaps creating some new structures, new policies for your employees and those people who collaborate with you. So if you need to review policies, if you need to review your relationship dynamics with your employees, then this is a really good day to do it under. Also, if you happen to have any, pets and animals, it's not a day for feeling more loving towards your pets and animals, but you might be able to have a bit more structure in the life of your pets. Maybe, you might enroll your puppy in puppy preschool or doggy daycare or something like that. And there is this beautiful energy of bringing more structure into your animals, your pets' lives in some way, wherever it happens to be needed. Maybe you decide, okay, I'm going to make sure I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning to let the cat out every day so she can go outside and do her business, and the cat learns 6 o'clock in the morning, that's my time, So structure and organization for pets can be a thing. And if you are looking to get a pet, this is a good day to do so. There will be a lastingly good relationship with your pet if you get them on this particular day, because this is where we can have lasting success. Saturn brings endurance and happiness not happiness, but stuff for the long term, and Mars brings enthusiasm for the long term. And so you'll be enthusiastic about your pet, your new cat, your new budgie, your new fish, whatever that comes into your life on this particular day. Health and well-being is seen from the 6th house. So if you need to start a new exercise routine or a new diet, it's a great day, because you will have what it takes to keep sticking with that diet for years to come, or that exercise program. So, I'm not a Capricorn rising person, but I'm going to use this energy for that, to try and get back into my, routine with healthcare and well-being. It's beautiful energy for that Mars, especially if you're looking at doing some weights, some personal training, which is also seen from the 6th house. It's a good energy because Mars is about muscles and working with the muscles in the long term with Saturn. So perhaps look to start your new diet or exercise routine under this energy. If you are Aquarius, rising, sun, moon, you can look at all three. Then we are having the energy of Saturn trine to Mars falling here in the 5th house where Mars resides. And this is where we can experience on, as I said, the 22nd, more success We're feeling more ambitious, more driven, more enthusiastic, and seeing material success because of that enthusiasm and drive as well. So what's this? How's this affecting the fifth house? Well, generally your creative self-expression. This is the most creative house in the horoscope, and it's about how I am sharing myself with the world. It's not about self-love, or ego validation or in that sense. It's about how can I be me and put that out there for everybody else to appreciate. Not to make the world better, because that's a very Aquarian thing. It's using my creativity to innovate and help society. This energy is very much that of Leo. How can I use my creativity in a way that brings more beauty to the world and that people will appreciate? I want people to appreciate and value me for my contribution. So how can you be creative in a way that brings you more love, more appreciation? This is the house of love. So maybe you want to start a fashion label. Well, do it under this energy, because Saturn is structure and Mars is working with needles and in the house, Mars, of creative self-expression. So you start maybe designing your next runway presentation, for a fashion label. Or maybe, it might be anything. You might be doing some woodworking or some anything that requires tools really and implements in your creativity. Maybe making an astro wheel, which is now for sale. But that requires tools to make the astro wheel, and that's a form of my creative expression. So, get into it. Establish some sort of new hobby, new self-expression under this energy, and it will last the long term and bring success for you in the long term. Now, also, the fifth house has to do with children. You might have ambitions for your children. And under this energy, if you sort of maybe work with your children, or maybe they desire to, my son has recently started an apprenticeship. This is an energy where I'm not Aquarius, but I'll use myself a situation as an illustration, that your ambitions, say for your children, because Mars is very ambitious and this is the house of children, can be more solidified. So my son has just started an apprenticeship. This would be a great energy for your children to start, encourage them to start a new course, encourage them to start a new apprenticeship, that kind of thing, because it's going to be something they'll stick with for the long term. They'll be more enthusiastic about for the long term. Saturn will give them more structure and more discipline to be able to work with whatever it is, whatever ambitions that they are sort of dealing with. You can see them create more success for themselves under this energy. So it's really good for children if that's something that you have in your life, if you have children. It's also good for love and romance. You're more enthused, more energized. And if you meet somebody under this energy, then it is likely to last for the long term. The love component, the romance component will remain with you for a longer period of time if you start a love relationship on the 22nd. Because of this energy. Mars is passion and desire. Saturn is for the long term in the house of love and dating and romance. So this is a good one if that's something that you're looking for. And it's also an energy for success, lasting success. So the relationships that you begin under this, the apprenticeships your children start, the pursuit of their own ambitions or your ambitions for your children, mostly it'll be their ambitions, they will all be successful in the long term, as will your hobbies and your desire to exhibit creative self-expression in the world. Lasting success comes for you because of that. Pisces rising, sun or moon people with this beautiful trine for those of us with Pisces. Energy strong. Is falling trine from Saturn to Mars in the fourth house. That is going to bring us more ambition in the realm of the fourth house. Now, I'm a Pisces rising. I have great dreams. I'm a very big dreamer, Pisces. But big dreams for my home environment, the home I would like to have and how I want to use it productively in the world. Very Mars, Saturn, to be productive, to use your energy to produce something of value in tangible reality. So you might be really engaging with some strong ambitions regarding the use of your home, how you want to work with your home and use your home in the future. Maybe you might have ambitions regarding, getting some land, being self-sufficient, because Mars is a very independent energy, and you might be thinking about, okay, I want more space, I want to be self-sufficient, I want to grow my own veggie garden, how am I going to do that? And whatever you sort of instigate now under this energy can last successfully for the long term because of this very ambitious but well-planned and well-organized trine between these two very highly manifesting planets. So I'm loving this energy. If you're looking at buying a new home, it's a beautiful energy to sign contracts for a new home or a renovation, because both of those correlate to Mars and Saturn. Pluto is renovation, but Saturn is construction. So if you need to do something constructive on your home, like a renovation or sign a contract for a renovation with a builder or something, or you need to purchase a new home or buy a parcel of land, this is a great day to do so, because you've got the structure coming from Saturn to Mars, energized, enthusiastic, and passionate about what you're doing. So that can be very, very helpful, and it will also bring lasting success to the ventures that you undertake that are to do with your home. So I'm loving this. But also, this is the house of family and the maternal line as well. So you might find that you feeling very strong about your family dynamic, very in tune with the family. There's an energy of, I feel really at one with my family in a long enduring capacity. So how can I illustrate that? Well, if you connect with your mother or your maternal line or your family, whatever that looks like, your partner or your children, if you connect with them on this day, the interactions are going to be of a positive variety that will leave you with a harmonious taste in your mouth that will last you for many months, maybe some years to come. So some positive interactions with family that come from this, some enthusiastic interactions with family. Maybe you haven't been, so what about connecting with my family for years, and this day could make you feel like, you know what? I'd love to get together for a family lunch. Let's do lunch. Let's have a barbecue. And you get together, Mars rules fire, so you could cook some marshmallows on the fire together with your family, and it leaves this beautiful impression on your psyche that especially as Saturn in the house of your psychological self, the 12th house, it's impacted in a way that's going to endure and last for the long term. So if you need to rebuild relationships with family, do it on this day. It's well supported, the 22nd, well supported for creating good connections with family that will last for the long term and have, successful dynamics with the family for the long term. So that's what I'm seeing the focus being for Pisces. Now for Aries, rising sun or moon people. We are seeing the energy of the trine from Saturn to Mars in Gemini falling for you in the 3rd house. And this is where you can have a lot of success on the 22nd. So you'll feel very ambitious, especially if you happen to have, Aries people, your own business, because Mars rules you. Mars is the ruler of your sign. It's in the house of small business here and making money through your own skills and talents and abilities. So it's very amplified for you. You will feel it strongly. And because this is an energy for maybe creating things that last for the long term, that endure, if you're looking to start a business or an advertising campaign or a marketing process or, launching a new product, this is a great energy for that. It will have success for the long term. So very, very good. And it makes you very ambitious as well and enthusiastic about whatever project or product or business that you're establishing too. So you can be successful. It's a successful energy. You might see good results in your business on this day. You might see some good results with group work or workshops that you run on this day. If you participate in a workshop, you'll come away feeling like, yeah, that's really going to help me for the long term. That's going to change me in a beneficial way. Blessing comes through workshops. Blessing for Aries people, rising sun or moon, comes through maybe connecting with friends on this day. So get enthusiastic, get energized about going out and catching up with your friends. Maybe going for a jog with them, doing something of an energetic nature would be good. Maybe, playing some games or doing some sports together, going for a row, maybe just meeting up with your walking group or something would be good things to do as well. And you will feel invigorated, and there's an energy of being blessed for the long term with this because of Saturn's positive connection. So the friendships that you make in that walking group on that day that you go and join, they're going to last for the long term. Or the conversations, this is a house of talking, writing, speaking, communicating. The conversations that you have on this day with your friends and siblings and, neighbors and what have you, the conversations that you have are going to bless you for the long term, or inspire you for the long term, or motivate you, energize you for the long term. So there's a lot of blessing that comes with this: lasting success, motivation, ambitiousness, and in a way that lasts and is well structured too. So this is a house of buying and selling. It's a trade house. So if you have to do some trade, and sign, let's say, contracts for trade agreements and what have you, then this is a good day for that, because there will be well organized and well structured agreements that can bring you lasting success. So that's what I'm seeing for Aries rising, sun or moon people. If you are Taurus, let's get that right there. Taurus rising, sun or moon people. Then the energy of Mars making a trine to Saturn is coming to your second house. And so it's this realm of life that could be very successful for you on the 22nd of March. I love this day. It's going to be really great. Like, this is a house of creating safety and security for ourselves, stability in the financial and material realms of life. And it does have, the second house has a tendency to hoard, to collect certain things. For you Taurus people, you might be sort of inclined to hoard or collect books or apps or other communication kind of devices, or collect friends, Geminis, all those things. And certainly with Mars here, you might have a lot of success with the things that you keep, that you collect in the material realm. So you might find you've been looking for that other first edition to add to your collection of books, and boom, on this day, there it is. You find it. There can be some success with material things that you might have been seeking or looking for or wanting in some way. You can also be very successful financially on this day. So it's a really good day to set up, say, a meeting with a financial planner or a financial advisor, because Saturn is mastery, and it's coming from the 10th house. In this case, the 10th house of authority figures, people who know more than you, who have more mastery than you do. And it's making this trine to Mars in your second house of finances and money and resources. So go and see the bank, go and talk to the bank manager, go and have a meeting with a financial planner or a broker or something, and discuss your financial situation if you need to. It is so supported on this day. You're going to get wise advice. Saturn is a wise planet, sending his benevolent influence to Mars, which is, I'm enthused about this. I'm energized about this. I want to make things happen. I want to make new beginnings. Mars is turning over new leaves. And so you'll be wanting to make fresh starts, and can do so under this energy most beneficially. And whatever you establish, say with a financial planner or an accountant or some person who is sort of more masterful in the realm of material resources, whatever you establish can bring you lasting success for the long term, because that's what Saturn does. He gives us success over an extended period of time. So Saturn is helping you to have financial success over an extended period of time. So if you're feeling enthusiastic about your budget, your budgeting, how you're using your money, then use that enthusiasm to really connect with someone who can give you good advice, and it will bring you benefit in the long term. The second house is a house of values. So there is this structuring energy with Saturn, and Mars is a very, very much about new things It likes making fresh starts. It likes initiation. So you might find that there is a chance to reinvigorate in some way your values, what you value, how you value things, your sense of what is worthy and what is not might go through some restructuring on this day for the positive. And it'll just happen easily. You know, some incident might happen and you suddenly see things in a whole new light and get some sort of new wisdom that helps you to, you know, readjust your value system. So, you know, it's an energy of change, but in the positive, and it's an energy that will bring you that readjustment that will stick with you for the long term. So any new values that you develop under this energy are going to stay with you over a big significant portion of your life. Now, for Gemini rising, sun or moon people, we're seeing the energy of Mars very strongly influencing your first house. And Mars is making on the 22nd this beautiful trine to Saturn, which is the energy that we're discussing. If you want to know about the other energies this week, then do check out the intro where I talk all about that. So Mars trine Saturn in the first house. This means that you can experience a lot of success personally this week, especially if you have planets around about the 10-degree mark of Gemini. So, or your rising sign at 10 degrees of Gemini. So this is an energy for helping you feel stronger, more ambitious, more well-planned, more organized, and actually achieving things because you feel that way. The first house is about the body, the energy of the body. And when the body is feeling energized, when the body is feeling enthusiastic, when the body is feeling like, yeah, I'm a hero, I can do this, I can take this on, I can make this new start, I can turn over this new leaf. When you feel that way, then it exhibits in reality. The first house is very connected to the Hermetic principle of as within, so without. And so how you feel internally, and you're probably going to feel more enthused and more amped up, will then result in how you act. And of course, this is the house of how the world perceives us, our image that we give off. So we're going to look, because we're feeling enthused, we're going to look energetic. You know, we're going to be out there doing this and getting our hands stuck into that. And, you know, I'm going to try this project and I'm going to put this out there on Facebook and I'm going to and your projection out to the world, your image that's given to the world is going to be one of more enthusiasm and vigor and just general energization that's beautiful. And because you put that out there, people are going to see that for the long term. Saturn makes it last. So the image that you present now, maybe on social media, because it is Gemini after all, the image that you present on social media, the image that you present, you know, maybe on your website or on YouTube or just in a social circle, in a group setting and with your friends, the image that you project on this day is going to last for the long term. Now, that doesn't mean you need to be careful about what you're putting out there, because this is a trine energy. And so really, it's almost like you can't put a foot wrong, you know? You can say something and people are going to take it in the right manner. Saturn, Mars, trine. You could do some sort of action and it's going to come out blessed for you. Now, that doesn't mean you go and hold up the local service station or something and you're going to get, you know, everyone's going to think you're an awesome person. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your daily life and your interactions in daily life and just doing what you would ordinarily do. It's going to be perceived very positively and remembered positively for the long term. Saturn trine to Mars in the house of image and how you present to the world. You're also going to feel very strong and very ambitious. This is a house of new beginnings. It's a house of instigating things, making new starts. It's a very ambitious house. It's a house of self-actualization and self-assertion. So expect that these things are going to be very strong for you on this day, and you can use that to your advantage, obviously. If you do start something new, if you do begin something fresh in life, it will likely bring you success for the long term. So if you have a project that you want to get involved in, if you have a product you want to launch, this is a great day for harnessing a very valuable energy that could bring you long-term success. So if you are Cancer rising, sun or moon people, Well, the energy of Mars making a trine to Saturn is falling in, or will be most strongly felt in your 12th house where Mars resides. And here you can see it's trining Saturn in the 8th house. So it's through 12th house things that you can feel very successful, very ambitious on this day. I would suggest, you probably feel very enthused about doing this and excited about doing this. I would suggest maybe for you guys getting a tarot card read, getting a channeling session done, maybe a Reiki healing session, or some kind of, doing some sort of workshop where you astral travel, or, you go into other realms. If you're into that sort of thing, great day for that, because you will be benefited for the long term. That's a blessing from Saturn coming from the house of past life regressions and energy healing and so on to the house of other realms. You can receive a lot of blessing if you're into that sort of thing through connecting with those sorts of alternative practices and healing practices on this day. If you need to get acupuncture, if you need to get some sort of a medicine, even because the 12th house has connections to medicines and doctors, it's a good day to do that as well, because you can really be, not that it's an energy of healing, this particular dynamic between Saturn and Mars, but it can bring you benefit health-wise for the long term, because this is occurring in the house of healing, and this is an energy of lasting success to have a trine between Mars and Saturn. So maybe take some action towards getting some sort of healing, maybe of the alternative variety, or, if you're not into that, you could go see a doctor or what have you. There's a likelihood that there will be lasting positive results from any actions taken towards healing. Now, it's also a very creative house, and Mars is actually a very creative planet because it likes to start and initiate. So you might start doing some sort of, like recording an album, or maybe doing some sort of a new spiritual workshop, that's maybe some sort of yoga practice that's quite creative, or dance workshop or something like that. Gemini is workshops and small group work in the house of therapies like dance therapy, music therapy, art therapy, and also to do with creative expression like photography, filmmaking, art of the traditional variety, music, poetry. All of those things are 12th house related. So you could start something new. You could be in a workshop where you're doing, art or music or whatever. You might be really feeling inspired from the divine to do something creative where this happened to me years ago, just as I was coming out of my divorce. I was just like, I just have to paint, and I have to paint all my feelings and all my emotions, and I have to put them out there. And I probably haven't picked up a paintbrush in nearly 5 or 6 years, but at the time it was like, I have to do this or I'm going to feel like I'm suffocating. So that's when you know that it's coming from outside of you, when you feel compelled. So don't be surprised if you guys, you Cancer people, feel compelled to use that wonderful imagination of yours to express creatively on this day. And whatever you do, it's going to be something that affects you for the long term. So it could affect you in the positive for the long term, where it really is a catharsis for you that heals you in the long term. Remember, this is a house of healing. Or it could be that, you write a book, you write some poetry, and there's blessing and success there in the long term, because this is a very ambitious energy, this as well. So you send in your poetry to, some sort of a journal, some sort of a publishing company, and it might bring success in the long term because you've been creatively inspired on this particular day. Now, I'm not saying everybody who submits their manuscript that they've imaginatively thought up is going to be the next J.K. Rowling or anything like this under this energy, but there's going to be a sense of fulfillment and like I'm achieving my desires under this, and that could be the blessing in itself. The good thing is there's more structure here, because Saturn's going to lend its energy for being well structured, well organized to Mars. And Saturn's also the ruler of the 8th house, which is a house of hidden things, making this trine to Mars in Gemini, which is also another house of things that are hidden. There's 2 houses, and this is both of them, the 8th and the 12th. And so we could have success on this particular day with things we've been doing behind the scenes. You know, if you've been working on a project behind the scenes that you're thinking, yeah, this is going to make me a lot of money, or I want to, you know, I want to launch this so it's successful. Well, things that you've been working on behind the scenes. Saturn is work in the house of hidden things, making a trine to Mars, the energy of action in the 12th house of things that are happening behind closed doors and out of sight. Then you could have great success. Now, that might be quite simply that you're writing a workshop, or doing studying. Well, it's not necessarily studying, but maybe you're creating some new project, creating some new like a new astro wheel or something like that. And this energy sees you working behind the scenes that could bring success for the long term. Hidden things that we're doing out of sight that other people don't know about. So, you know, even that could be relationships that are being conducted behind the scenes. And it is the house of affairs here, but I'm not talking about affairs. I'm referring actually to maybe some sort of a connection that you've got with maybe an advertiser. Somebody who's going to promote something. This is the 12th house does have some connections to advertising and making sort of fake things, or, you know, creating a story around things, being a spin doctor, creating some illusion around something. So it might be with an advertiser that you are having some negotiations behind closed doors to promote a certain product. Or maybe if you're a politician, you might be doing some backdoor deals on this day that stand to bring you lots of success for the long term. Lots of politicians have a strong 12th house just for that very reason. Like that or love it, or loathe it, I should say. Or you know, any kind of deal where you require sort of it be secret, it be kept hidden for some time. If you're involved in those sorts of situations, then it can bring you lasting success if you have negotiations of that kind on this particular day, the 22nd. So that's what I'm seeing for Cancer people. There's a lot going on here. Now for Leo people, Leo rising, sun or moon people, the energy of Mars is happening to fall in your 11th house. This is where Mars is receiving a trine from Saturn to your 11th house. So this is where you can be successful. And this is a wonderful placement because you can, if you want to establish new friendship groups, maybe if you're like my son, who's not a Leo, but my son has been experiencing some cyberbullying recently, and he's decided he needs to change his friendship group. And I'm like, yeah, I think you do, mate. Well, if you like my son and you want to, create new friendship groups, this is a great energy to start it. Go out there, take action, Mars, take action. And the friends that you make on this day, the new friends, the new social groups, the new social connections and networks will last you for the long term. Saturn making things last and endure. And it's a successful trine. So the friendships that you create will be great for you. Will give you access to maybe people in high places. Saturn is the master. It's sort of those people in authority. Your friends might give you access to sort of people in high places and authority figures and what have you. You will feel a great deal of benefit from these friends. They can help you achieve more success in your own life as well, and you might bring more success to them. It's just all positive. This is also an Upachaya house. It's going to get better with age. So as things go on with these friendships you create, they're going to get better and better and better. So I like this energy for creating new friendships. I also like it for your ambitions, your goals, and your aspirations as well. So this tells me that your ambitions, Leo people, are going to be very much amplified. I'm a Leo sun, and I can see how this is already starting to be felt in my life, quite frankly. So you're going to be more ambitious this week because of this. You're going to be more success driven under this energy, and you're going to be looking for it. And because it's going to come from within you, you're going to see it express out there in your external reality as well. Success might also come from some collaborations, Saturn in the 7th house, some connections, some partnerships that you establish. Maybe you meet someone who can give you a skill set like that you don't have, and you're like, oh, let's connect, let's work together, let's join forces. So that can be a benefit that might last you the long term as well, and bring you more success out there in the world, because the 11th house is the rewards and gains that we get. It's our ambitions. So you're going to be very, very ambitious. You'll have the ability to put your plans into action, and to create new structures that are going to support you for the long term in creating more success in the world as well. And so your dreams and goals have a chance of being more successful if you instigate them under this energy on this day. So, but you got to know what it is you want, Take the time, Leo, to think about, what are my dreams, what are my goals, what are my ambitions, where do I want to be in 5 years' time, and then take action on this day. Make the momentum happen, because Saturn's influence is going to help that momentum to manifest in earthly reality over the long term. So enjoy that energy. It can bring you lasting success with your dreams and goals and ambitions, and it can also help you with creating the right networks and the right friendship groups to support you into the future for the long term as well. Virgo. Virgo rising, sun or moon people. Well, the energy of Mars trine Saturn for you is falling in the 10th house. That's where you're going to notice it. What a great house to have this energy as well. You Virgo people have been really doing quite well over the last year or so. I've noticed, perhaps more than any other sign, Virgo's actually been most benefited by 2020 and now into 2021 as well, because of the planetary placements. This Mars energy, Mars being trined by Saturn, is going to be highly ambitious and very energized towards success in life. And here in the 10th house of mastery, of leaving a legacy, of creating worldly achievement and success, you couldn't get better. So whatever you're aspiring to do in the world, whatever you want to be remembered for, and the legacy that you want to leave, which is a 10th house thing, whatever you want to create as part of your career and your heart. Career is your heart's desire. It's not just, I'm working for the government or whatever. It's like, well, what is your passion? What is your desire for what you want to be remembered for? What is the legacy? But what is also your reputation that you want to be known for? What do you want to have a reputation as? Somebody loving, somebody kind, somebody benevolent, or you want a reputation like Hitler? It's up to you. This energy is going to give you the ability to be successful with your reputation, to be successful with your career, the passion and desire of your heart for what you want to be remembered for and known for, what you want to do in the world. You're going to be so ambitious. Because you're ambitious, because you're driven from within, you can achieve it. Now, this is a highly manifesting influence. Saturn manifesting earthly reality for you in the house of career and worldly achievements. So you can have lasting success through what you establish on this day, through what you instigate on this day, through what you energize yourself towards on this day. So it's a beautiful combination of energy and structure and longevity that comes with this Mars trine to Saturn in these houses of your chart. So if you're looking to maybe go for a promotion, or to maybe establish, it depends what your ambition is. Maybe you want to release an album, or maybe you want to host an art exhibition, or whatever, your career ambitions are. This is a great day to take steps and strides towards those ambitions, whether they're of the more conservative variety, like I want to introduce a new product for my company to make things more efficient and streamlined, or whether it's you want to sort of do something independently. It all depends on your natal chart, whether you're a company man or a independent man or woman. But whatever it is, whatever your ambitions are, whatever your worldly desires for achievement are, it's a great day for taking concrete steps towards making them a reality. And you can see lasting positive success as a result of the actions that you undertake on this particular day. So for Libra rising, sun or moon people, the energy of Mars trine to Saturn is influencing you most of all in the 9th house realm. So it's in the 9th house that you're going to feel successful, strong, ambitious. Also will have the ability to be more well planned and organized. So of course, this being the house of higher intellectual study, university study, doing a course, it's a good energy to say begin a course. You will enjoy it for the long term because Saturn is giving the influence of positivity for the long term. You'll enjoy what you study for the long term. If you want to study with me, then head over to my Learn Astrology page and do one of my courses. You'll also have perhaps the ambition you might feel the ambition to travel or to experience another culture. Whether you can or not is irrelevant. You could watch a documentary, you could eat some foreign food. You will be desirous, Mars's desire of experiencing other cultures. But I would also say you may find within you a desire to be an inspirational person. And let's face it, I remember when I was in my 20s, myself and everybody I met wanted to change the world and make it a better place, wanted to be the one who healed and helped. We all have that desire within us to be of benefit to the world. Sometimes life can wear us down as we get a bit older, but certainly it's there within all of us to want to be of benefit to the world. And this is the house of inspirational figures, philanthropists, benefactors. So you might find that your desire to benefit or to be an inspiration to others, to teach others, to support others on their journey, to give them more wisdom, suddenly your desire for that, your ambition to be that and bring that to the world is really off the Richter scale. And you're like, woo, let me onto that YouTube platform. I'm going to share my message with the world. Or let me write and publish this book that's going to share my wisdom, my insights with everyone. I want to encourage you, go for it. If you're feeling that way, that you want to be an inspirational figure, you get that energy hit on this day, that you want to share your insights, your wisdom, your knowledge with everybody, then go for it. Because the energy of Saturn to Mars in this realm can make you successful in doing so. It might just make you that inspirational figure, or give you publishing success, or help you to achieve exactly what you dream of and desire. Mars trine to Saturn is a very manifesting influence to do with your passions, to do with your ambitions and desires. You've got what it takes under this energy to at least get the ball rolling towards that end, to make a start, to sort of, put those first steps in motion. And regarding those things, whatever you do establish under this energy can bring you lasting success, because Saturn is for the long term. So I wouldn't go expecting that overnight you're going to be a YouTube sensation and be, that inspirational guru equivalent to Oprah. I wouldn't expect that that's going to be the case. But you can certainly put the steps in motion to achieve things in the long term, because Saturn, he doesn't gush it all out and there you go, boom, you're suddenly Oprah. It's more like, let's just keep the energy at a steady, monitored pace for you to rise up into that position that you might seek, or get that publishing deal that you might want, or get that position of respect that you might desire, because respectable positions are seen through the 9th house. So take those first steps would be my encouragement to you Libran people. Take those first steps, put yourself out there, make moves towards maybe teaching, sharing information, being, if you want to be in some sort of leadership role, take the step toward doing that, and you will be supported on this day for it to manifest most beautifully for you in the long term. If you have an ambition to learn something new, and I do, I'm a Libra moon person, and I'm always wanting to study something new, learn something new, incorporate some sort of new knowledge. Well, this energy is brilliant for maybe doing a short course, studying something new. Take those steps. Mars is action. Take the action, because it's going to benefit you. And remember, Saturn's coming from your 5th house of lucky breaks. It's going to bring you potentially lucky breaks to study some course or some benefit that's going to happen for you in the long term. Saturn here giving this influence to Mars, bringing the energy, some positivity for the long term. Mightn't happen instantaneously, like you do a course in Vedic astrology through me, and it doesn't transform your life instantaneously, but down the track, what you learn brings you luck, brings you opportunity, brings you benefit. So that could be very positive if you're a Libra rising sun or moon person. Now, Scorpio people, you've hung in there till the last, and I thank you most graciously for that. Scorpio rising sun or moon people, well, this energy of Mars trine to Saturn, Mars is falling in your 8th house, and this is where you're going to feel this the most. This is in an energy of success. So it may be through doing some very 8th house things that you find life suddenly is successful to you, and it brings you success for the long term. You might decide to study some sort of hidden mysteries. You might join a mystery school, study perhaps, and because of Saturn's benevolent trine, it might be something very old that you're studying of an ancient, like mystical variety. You might study Gnosticism or get very involved in sort of ancient mythologies or something, because this is the 8th house is about things that are hidden, occult things, and by occult I mean things that are not mainstream. And so you might be researching those, you might be going deep into those, and it can bring you some success and benefit in the long term to do so. It's also the house of psychology, and I would say if you're interested at all in psychology, and if you're a Scorpio rising sun or moon, then I'd be surprised if you're not, but if you're interested in psychology, take some action. Mars is action, to learn more about yourself on this day, to dive deep, maybe do a Myers-Briggs test, or do the what's it called, Enneagram. Find somebody who does Enneagram and do an Enneagram session or something, or human design session. And whatever you uncover, because the 8th house is about researching, going deep into things so that you can bring it out into the light, so that it can be made clear. Whatever you research about yourself, whatever you study about, say, ancient mythologies, or like I said before, Gnosticism and those sorts of mystery schools and stuff, whatever you bring out into the light now, it's going to benefit you for the long term, and it will bring you success for the long term. Say you decide you're going to study the Hermetic principles, which I'm so surprised at. So many people don't know what they are, and you think, this is ancient occult knowledge, hidden knowledge. Let's study the principles of Hermes. And lo and behold, you learn, by bringing those ancient occult mysteries out into the light, you learn stuff that empowers you for the rest of your life. Saturn is long-term benefit. So long-term benefit from going deep into some topic, some subject, from going, like, researching something and garnering some hidden knowledge that's going to bless you in the long term. Most beautifully for Scorpio people, this position is going to give you a great deal of ability to be blessed in the sexual realm, shall we say. So you might find you have a lot of endurance in the bedroom, but it's more like the 8th house is interesting because it's not so much about the bed pleasures and the fun of sex. That's seen in other houses. This is actually the very spiritual level of connection and intimacy that is seen through the 8th house. So if it's Tantra that you are familiar with, or if it's a bond that comes through the physical act that you want with a partner, if you want to connect at a soul-to-soul level, and most Scorpio people do, then this is a great day to engage in that kind of activity, if you can. Because what's going to happen is that the sexual union that you have, the tantra, the bond of intimacy that you create with a partner is going to be with you for the long term. Now, let's hope it's an intimate act that you actually desire that from. Saturn will make your physical union be of an enduring variety, and that ecstasy through that tantric moment, that bond, that connection, that's going to last with you for the long term and be very, very powerful for you. So if you're in a position where you can enjoy that kind of intimacy with another, it's going to be a very spiritual time, a very empowering time, a time for you to actually even take back your personal power, Mars, through doing so. Plus, in a very bold sense of the word, you will be able to go at it for a very long time. Mars is passion, sex, the actual deed, making a trine to Saturn, which is marathon sessions, so you could have a very enjoyable experience, Scorpio people. Lasting success that comes through the 8th house of our sexual expression and intimacy. Lasting success that comes also through our research into inner truth as well. The 8th house, just to wrap up, also has connections to sort of wills, legacies, inheritances, things that we receive from other people, the values even of other people. And so you stand to be blessed through other people's values, maybe through the legacies of other people. Now, I'm not just talking financial stuff. It could be that you receive a legacy of wisdom from the family line or from your partner or something like that. That might be an inheritance that you receive, some wisdom from the family or wisdom from, having known somebody in an intimate relationship or something. So you might get some wisdom, you might receive some insight, you might receive an inheritance of some sort of inherited value, some inherited belief. And so these things that you inherit from family, from partners and what have you, from other people in general, can actually bring you some benefit now. It can manifest for you some sort of personal success. Let me think of an illustration. Let's say you inherit a belief from your family that if you work hard, Saturn, working hard, and put everything you've got into something, Mars energy, then you actually will benefit in life. Now, maybe that's an inherited belief that you carry. Well, on this day, it's that belief, the values that you've inherited from family, the beliefs you've inherited from other people. It doesn't actually even have to be family, but this is other people's values and beliefs. This inherited belief actually brings you manifested success on this day. So that's one example. I could give you others, but I hope you get the picture. Your inherited values and beliefs, or an inheritance in a very literal sense. Maybe you find that you do get an inheritance from grandpa, and it brings you lasting benefit, lasting success in your life, because whatever is established now under this energy will be of benefit and last you for the long term. So that's what I'm seeing for all signs. I hope this reading has helped give you insight into what to expect this week, how you can work with the energies to your best advantage. It has been such a privilege to share this with you, and I will have another Astro Weather Report for you next week. I'll catch you then.